As the global demand for electric vehicles skyrockets, one name that comes to mind that's been at the epicenter of this movement is none other than Tesla. While other brands play the catch-up game, Tesla creates additional demand for its vehicles. And that's got to do with them being the oldest player in the market. In today's video, we'll discuss how Tesla's car listings are rising as customers flip new deliveries with huge margins. Firstly, what's all this fuss about Tesla listings? The popularity charts for Tesla are having a breakthrough moment at the moment. As the demand for brand new cars increases, so does second-hand ones. So much so that some owners and car dealers are actually looking to make a bit of a profit by flipping over these cars for huge margins. Listings show an interesting pattern when it comes to Tesla vehicles. Owners are looking to flip cars that haven't even arrived yet. This speaks for itself about the kind of profit margins we're talking about. Going for upwards of $15,000 and more, Tesla is comfortably making resellers, and car dealerships earn a bit of extra cash. Following up, let's take Australia as an example. It shouldn't be a surprise that Tesla is slowly becoming a global brand. The company is looking to make a strong footing in more emerging electric vehicle markets, and Australia is one of them. So let's take a look at what's going on in our Western neighbors. Believe it or not, Tesla's Model Y was only recently introduced in Australia. The first deliveries for the car only began at the beginning of August of this year. That's a delay of more than 2 years since its launch in the US. But that's not the most interesting part about this entire thing. Of the total number of Model Ys that have been delivered until now in the country, a whopping 12.9% have been relisted for sale. That too was only 8 weeks after the first deliveries came in. Usually, such a thing would happen if there's a flaw with the vehicle or there's a collective disliking for the car among customers. But this time, it's happening because of the supply and demand disruption. People are looking to make money on their luck by reselling overpriced Teslas to customers who are ready to pay the additional cost in return for immediate possession. The scale of it could be measured this way. Out of the total 1,017 Model Ys delivered as of yet, 131 have been relisted. That's how the 12.9% figure comes into place. Next up is a curious case of supply shortage. You may not have noticed, but this entire fiasco highlights an underlying problem: a shortage in supply. How could it be that there's only been just over 1,000 orders on the new SUV? Well, for starters, that isn't true. Customers are lined up in Australia looking to have their cars delivered on the provided delivery dates. Earlier, we did talk a little about people selling cars that haven't even arrived yet. This is where it comes from. While people wait on receiving delivery dates, people that have are just looking to upsell their own vehicles. But the major issue could again be in the supply of parts, or lack thereof. There has been a massive chip shortage around the world, and supply chains, especially those working on electronics, have taken a huge hit. Teslas, being some of the most practical computers, also require these parts for their vehicles. While they do that, people who can exploit this gap between supply and demand are doing just that. But would it really be exploitation when the customer is willingly paying extra for an earlier hands-on? We'll leave it to you to be the judge of that. What's more is that it just don't stop. Let's try and get a little deeper into the Australian market, because Model Y isn't the only vehicle from Tesla that's getting the resale treatment. The Model Y has been following a similar fate as its bigger brother. This may dial in the factor that users are looking to get rid of their Model 3s for newer, better Model Ys. But again, it doesn't explain the huge price hikes even on used vehicles. That's most probably the job of demand and supply. To explain further, an ad for a Model 3 online listed the white vehicle for $83,990. That too, on a car that's done 800 kilometers of track already. But the fun part is the demanded price, almost $15,000 more than what the car comes for brand new. Would you pay that kind of money just to skip the line? We'd like to know your thoughts. Not to mention though, Tesla is making even the resale market a competition. Safe to say, whatever Elon Musk touches turns to gold. In a recent revelation, Jimmy Douglas, the director of sales, said that Tesla is making headway in the second-hand market, giving competition to other big champs of the vehicle industry. We know that Tesla sells its cars itself, but the interesting fact is that it also sells second-hand vehicles to its customers via its dealerships. Douglas emphasized this specific point, saying that the second-hand car dealership is as big as any other dealership in the country. And sure, we believe him because we're looking at the trends, and they speak for themselves. This is an extremely impressive feat, given that Tesla does not advertise any of its products. That means no Super Bowl ads, no TV commercials, and no paid social media campaigns. Finally, let's address another another rising concern with the rise in demand. We all know that when Tesla first came into existence, it aimed to provide customers with an alternative to fossil fuels. Not just that, over the years, the company's interest in the environment has only grown. Products beyond EVs include solar panels from the company, and all of this is a step in the right direction in our books. But with that, especially when it comes to automobiles, is the concern for lithium-ion batteries. Since these batteries do not last forever, they need to be disposed of or recycled through a completely thought-out plan. Otherwise, this hike in demand would only negate the impact that the company aims to have on the environment. And the good news is, Elon Musk and his company is looking to get into lithium refining. This is amazing, as it would not only make access to the materials needed for the batteries easier, but it would also allow for the recycling of the used batteries with a better chance and probability. Tesla already makes the batteries for its cars in-house, instead of outsourcing them from elsewhere, which, by the way, is the norm in the EV market. Adding this feather to its cap would only push Tesla towards a more environment-centric mission. Now moving on to other news. First up, EVs looking to get head-to-head with combustion engine vehicles. Sylvain Philippi, head of Envision Racing, believes that electric vehicles will reach parity with internal combustion engines by the year 2025 to 2026. That is, of course, a prediction and not a fact, but all the indications point in that direction. EVs are expected to make 33% of car sales by 2028 and 54% by 2035. And by the looks of it, they could be taking over the market by 2040. As the Biden administration looks to transform the car industry of the US completely, these goals look slightly more achievable. Following up, companies are jumping straight into the EV trend. Sixth, an international car hailing and rental service has decided to purchase 100,000 electric vehicles from Chinese maker BYD. The company plans on deploying these vehicles in Germany, France, and the Netherlands at first. This is a significant move by the company, given that its competitor, Hertz, announced a similar buy recently with 175,000 EVs from General Motors. Hertz is also looking into buying Tesla and Polestar vehicles to expand its operations in the electric vehicle domain. But that's not it. Other companies, such as Uber, are also following suit when it comes to EVs. We're telling you, it's a silent revolution. Lastly, car haulers are looking to have road weights increased. As the demand for electric vehicles increases, transporters are hoping that the Biden administration increases the weight loads so that more cars can be transported on the highways. Even though electric vehicles make up for only around 1% of the cars on US roads, Biden administration hopes to pump those numbers to half of the total sales by 2030. Individual trailers are currently restricted to 80,000 pounds of weight, which does include the weight of the truck itself. With Joe Biden putting billions of dollars behind electric vehicles, the results of that should trickle down to an increase in carrying weights for trailers. It should be kept in mind, though, that the US has more deaths than Europe when it comes to road accidents, and any incremental changes in the travel weight cap would bring with it the risk of endangering more lives. That's a wrap for this video. Would you buy a Tesla for more than its official price? Or on the flip side, would you be willing to sell your Tesla at an increased price to make some cash? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.